Local SEO is about one thing: convincing Google that your brand can solve problems better than any of your competitors. But I think one of the most left out pieces of the entire puzzle of local business is your brand and how important your brand is. Now, you can make content, you can put up videos, you can do all of these things, but at the end of the day, your brand is going to be insanely important to the Google algorithm. Now, how does Google measure this? Well, this is where click-through rate comes in. So click-through rate, just for simplicity, is the amount of times where Google will show your business in the search results and the amount of times somebody will click on that. So if your business gets clicked 10 times out of 100 times that it gets shown on a search, then you have a 10% click-through rate. And Google is always adjusting where businesses sit, and click-through rate is a huge piece of where you're going to end up ranking. Let's look at an example. Let's say that I've had this pastry shop in my local area. I've owned it for decades. Everyone loves it, but I've avoided getting on Google and on the internet for up until today. But everyone in my local area knows who I am. They know my business. They know what we do, and they love what we offer. Tomorrow, I go and I start a website and I start a Google business profile. What is going to happen? Well, number one, I'm probably going to get a lot of reviews right off the bat. Number two, people might even be posting pictures. They might go on local blogs or social media outlets that they own and talk about how I'm finally joining the world on the internet. But number three is when people search for searches related to my business, they're likely going to skip down past my competitors and go down the page to click on my business because that's what they want to find, because it's already a trusted brand. So now let's put ourselves in Google's shoes. What is the outcome that I want to have happen here if I'm Google? Well, Google's job is to give you the best solution to the problems that you have. So if I'm Google, then what I'm going to do is, as people go to this search and they start searching for pastries, pastry place near me, and they skip down below all my competitors and they're clicking on my business, I'm going to have this insanely high click-through rate, meaning that disproportionately, people are actually going out of their way to skip results and click on my business. And Google is going to see that as a red flag. Something is wrong here with the algorithm. If people are going to a business listing that's lower on their results consistently. And that's what the Google algorithm is always doing. It's always kind of just moving things around and trying to find out where that equilibrium is. You know, wants to give people the best result first and then go down from there. And this is how Google can get a sense of a brand. So your business online isn't some imaginary thing where you and your competitors are fighting over age and time and all this stuff. In the end, a lot of that doesn't really matter. It does on the brand side, because you're probably building up your brand. But on the Google algorithm side, your brand is going to already be reflected in your click-through rate, in how many people are going specifically to your business and clicking on that business. So this is how brand gets translated into the algorithm. And so in our example here, it's interesting because if you have a good solid brand in your local area, that will be reflected already in the algorithm. So now this might give you either some insight into what you can do better in your business or into why competitors may be outdoing you in some of these searches. Whether you are a new company or an existing company, this will probably give you a good idea of how you can build up your business. Brand is basically the interactions you have and how memorable your brand interaction or your business interaction with the customer is. That's going to be your brand. So you build your brand by having these positive interactions with customers. That can go even further, where they go write you a review, they take pictures of what they're doing, they post that onto Google. And those are ways you can build your brand. Now, where does local SEO and what I'm doing or somebody like me would be doing, where does that come into play? Why would you need my service? Why would you want my service if this brand is just going to be built interaction over interaction? Well, that's where I think the amplification comes in. Look, whether you're doing local SEO on your own or someone like me is doing for you, it doesn't matter. By putting out more content, by being more organized, by interacting with Google and your business profile more, by responding to customer reviews quicker, by having your website so it's easy to use so people can call you. All these things play into that interaction and into you even getting a shot at bat, is what I like to call it, for a customer, right? I can help amplify, or local SEO can help amplify your message and your brand so that you get more customer interactions, more customers becoming a part of that brand, and that you can really start to accumulate and build off of that in a compounding way to really grow your brand to the biggest brand in your local area, the best and the biggest. So that's click-through rate. I think that's important to understand for every business owner. I think it's always good to try to reverse engineer what Google is trying to do and how that directly impacts the business that we're running. And so I think the best advice is have positive customer interactions and do everything in your power to make sure that you, your employees, and anyone else associated with your company is having these positive interactions that will compound over time to win. That's what I got. We'll see you tomorrow.